My oldest son, he reminds me of so much artistic creation. This nigga taught himself how to play the guitar, and this mother just a player. He played it, and he played it, he believed it with his soul. You hear me? This nigga played the guitar, he leave the house dressed like a magician, and it's just him and that goddamn guitar and this mother. Hey, he don't give a what nobody say neither, you know what I'm saying?
Things have taken a very messy turn for T.I., and the situation is getting more serious by the day. There are rumors going around that 50 Cent has released some shocking footage connected to T.I.'s son Messiah Harris. Since then, everything seems to be spinning out of control. People are saying that T.I., also known as Tip, may have already lost his cool behind the scenes. If that's true, then this is no longer just a simple rap disagreement. It's starting to look like something much deeper and more personal. To understand how things reached this point, it's important to look back at how it all started. This situation didn't begin with any leaked videos or family drama. First, it was something much simpler. For a long time, fans have been talking about the idea of a versus battle between T.I. and 50 Cent. Both are major names in hip-hop, representing Atlanta and New York, so it would have been a big cultural moment. According to T.I., this wasn't just talk from fans. He claimed that discussions had already taken place privately, and that there was real interest in making it happen. However, when T.I. brought the idea into the public, things quickly went in a different direction. Instead of agreeing or even acknowledging it, 50 Cent acted like he had no idea what T.I. was talking about. That response may seem small at first, but in rap culture, it can be seen as a sign of disrespect. And that's where the tension really began to grow.
Okay, so first, it was really about celebrating each other's catalog. Me and them talk back there, bro. This shit, I ain't just called it out the blue. Yeah. Me and them talk like this.
You talk about you were 50?
Yeah, man, we talk like this shit, man. This shit just come out of nowhere. We were moving around in LA, man, selling some TV shows while we were around each other, man, you know what I mean? I said, shit, what you think about this? He was like, shit, you wanna do that shit? I said, yeah. He was like, all right, cool, so shit. I told him, I said, well, I'm gonna jump out there first, and then you just gonna jump out there and we'll line it up. And he said, all right. And when I jump out there, like he ain't know what the f going on. Then that's what it was about, you know what I'm saying? Now, it about, oh, you playing? Okay, you gonna play. All right, cool. Well, how about all of it? All of it. I don't even want to, man. Cause now I question your character. Any gonna get kick that kind of shit in, you know, man. Just say you don't want to do it. All the other extra lame, man, this goofy.
So y'all talked about it, you saying? You went out there.
Years ago. Years ago we spoke about it.
I think it'd be a great battle though. I think,
man, that ain't gonna happen. That shit ain't gonna happen, man. I don't wanna stand on stage with him. I have no interest in standing on stage with that. I don't respect him.
If you know 50 Cent, then you already understand that he doesn't react like most people. He doesn't jump into loud arguments or rush to respond. Instead, he stays calm, watches everything closely, and waits for the right moment. When he finally does respond, he usually hits in a way that has the biggest impact. That's why situations involving him often turn serious very quickly. At the beginning, this situation looked like typical online trolling. Old videos and clips started to appear again, bringing back past controversies linked to T.I. One of the main topics that resurfaced was the long-standing snitch narrative that had followed him for years. On top of that, old allegations from his past were also brought back into public discussion. It seemed like things he had already moved past were suddenly being reopened. Then things took a sharper turn when 50 Cent began hinting at something bigger. He made comments suggesting he might work on a documentary, which caught a lot of people's attention. When he talks about projects like that, people tend to take it seriously. In the past, he had hinted at a documentary related to Sean Combs, and many people didn't believe him at first. However, when that project eventually came out, it proved that he wasn't just joking around. Because of that, his recent comments about T.I. made fans feel like something real could be coming. As the situation continued, many people online started giving their opinions. Some felt that T.I. I made a mistake by going at 50 Cent, suggesting he should have chosen a different rival. Others even said that no amount of attention or album sales is worth risking your reputation and long-term legacy. Then things became even more personal. 50 Cent started posting images and making comments about Tamika Harris, who is T.I.'s wife. At that point, the situation clearly moved beyond music and into family matters. Many expected T.I. to respond directly, but instead, his son King Harris stepped in. He went on social media and made emotional and disrespectful comments, even bringing 50 Cent's late mother into the conversation. That only made things worse and added more tension. But while everyone was focused on that drama, 50 Cent seemed to be moving quietly in another direction. He doesn't usually attack where everyone is already looking. Instead, he targets areas that are less noticed. That's where T.I.'s older son, Messiah Harris, started to come into the discussion. Over the years, fans had noticed something unusual about T.I.'s family presence in the public eye, especially on the show T.I. and Tiny, The Family Hustle. The younger kids were often seen and actively involved, but the older sons, including Domani Harris and Messiah, slowly became less visible. First, people didn't think much of it. Later, Domani explained that he chose to step away because he didn't want to be known only as T.I.'s son or as a reality TV figure. He wanted to build his own path in music and create his own identity. He even turned down a large amount of money just to stay true to that decision, which many people respected and understood.
Yeah, man, that was a big deal at one point in my life. That was, I said this before, but it was before I knew who I was and what I wanted to do exactly. I was running from that. I was running from that last name. I was running from the legacy. I was running from him a lot. Because I didn't know who I was yet, and until I figured it out, I wanted to do it on my own. And I felt like the more stuff I do on my own, the faster I'll find out who I am.
Right.
So, yeah, I was running from that for a long time. Now I just realized that I just create, I'm an artist, I'm gonna be creative.
But when it came to Messiah Harris, there was never a clear explanation. He didn't give interviews or speak about his absence. He simply stepped away from the spotlight. Because of that silence, people online began making their own assumptions, spreading rumors that he chose to live a more private life.
T.I. and Tiny might do a lot of questionable things. However, did they keep their child off of TV because he was gay?
Rumors have been swirling for a while, and now things have intensified with 50 Cent getting involved. According to what people are saying online, he didn't just stop at teasing or trolling T.I. Instead, he allegedly started dropping hints about deeper family matters, posting and deleting content that made fans curious. He didn't directly state anything, but the clues were enough for people on the internet to start connecting the dots. And as anyone familiar with online communities knows, once speculation starts, it rarely stops. Fans and users began sharing their thoughts. One person wrote that from the moment Messiah first appeared on TV, it was clear he was private and low-key. They felt he should be allowed to reveal his personal life on his own terms. Another commented that they had noticed things about Messiah since he was young, praising him as a kind and respectful young man, but questioning why 50 Cent chose to involve him in this situation at all. The answer might be simpler than people think. Out of everyone in T.I.'s family, Messiah is the least visible, the quietest, and the least defended. His brothers and younger siblings are more outspoken, active online, or have built their own paths. Messiah, on the other hand, keeps a low profile, which in situations like this can make him an easy target. When someone isn't publicly responding, narratives can form around them without their control. Now, the conversation is no longer just about a rap dispute, it's about reputation, image, and everything T.I. has built over decades. If any of the rumors or implications about Messiah are true, it explains why T.I. may be reacting so strongly behind the scenes. This isn't something you can simply respond to with a song or a diss track. It's personal. Fans are now questioning whether Messiah's quiet life was intentional, a way to stay out of the spotlight, or just how he naturally is. Looking back, it's clear he was never promoted like his siblings, and wasn't as visible in the family brand. The situation raises bigger questions. Did 50 Cent go too far by involving T.I.'s family? Or is this simply how intense rap beef has become in the age of social media? And when it comes to Messiah, is his silence being overanalyzed? Or is there more happening behind the scenes than people realize? These are the questions fans and the online community are now discussing, trying to make sense of what's real and what's speculation.